felt lost or confused at where you best fit on the team? There are two basic roles that every team has to have. And depending on your calling and how God has wired you, if you understand where you fit and where you don't, what lane you're supposed to run in, it'll help you feel more satisfied, and it'll help you understand what other roles you need to be effective. Hello, my name is Matt. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I call it Embrace Your Calling. I love to help you understand the calling God has placed on your life, the gifts, the dreams that you have permission to dream, big dreams for your life. And I want to help you get there. I want to help you understand where you best fit on the team so you can fulfill the God calling on your life. Would you subscribe to my channel? Give it a thumbs up, share it, leave a comment below of what blesses you, and let's get going. Let's talk about when you're feeling a little lost or confused on the team of where you best fit. I talk to so many people over coffee. I got my coffee here, and they're just confused. Am I even called? Where do I fit? Am I being effective? And we all are feeling a little out of sorts of how do I best use my gifts and my dream, and I'm not feeling as effective. Does that sound familiar? Well, let me help you, because I've found that there are two basic roles that every team has to have. Now, there are many functions. There's many skills. There's strategy and creative and communicating, administrative. But I'm talking about two basic roles that function to make any team go. And when you understand how you're uniquely wired, you're going to feel so much more comfortable in your own skin. You're going to feel like you're in your lane and you can run hard. Most of us need a mentor to say, run this way, do this, step into this with confidence and courage. And once you do, you go farther and the team is flourishing. Okay, so I want to start out with the scripture verse in Ecclesiastes chapter 4. Verse 9, King Solomon, wisest king of Israel, he wrote this powerful teaching for us. Two are better than one, because they have a good return for their labor. Okay, so this principle says I can't do it alone. I've needed to hear this in my life because my personality tends to be independent. My pastor says, Matt, if you want to go faster, do it by yourself. But if you want to go farther, do it with a partner. And that principle of two are better than one is so important, especially in my area of church ministry. Church ministry, I've learned, is a team sport, not a solo act. You need others. You need a team. You need a partner with you. So that's the first lesson, is be humble and self-aware enough to realize you only have a few gifts. You only have one calling that is in a lane for you, and to be average at other things or just good enough at things, you're never going to fulfill the calling on your life, because you need that divinely appointed, spirit-empowered calling and those God-given gifts. So when you realize I'm not that, don't feel bad about it. Actually rejoice and say, I know what I am, and I'm going to operate there. And then that allows you to be aware of other people, how they are gifted and they are God divinely built for this thing. So two are better than one is the first lesson. Now, let's talk about these two roles that I want you to consider what you think you are best suited for. Are you a leader or are you a helper? Think about that for a second. Do you feel like you best fit as a leader or best fit as a helper? And as I just make you ask that question, you're having all kinds of emotions. You're like, well, is a helper less than a leader? Or I want to be a leader because that feels like I get to make all the decisions. Well, some people are like, I'm not a leader. Sometimes the people that don't think they're leaders, maybe they will be a better leader. And some people who think they're better helpers, they could be a leader. Or you think you're supposed to be the leader, but really the truth is you like the sound of a leader, or you think you know what a leader is, but it's hard and you'd be a better helper. So it makes me think of Adam and Eve, that God puts Adam in the garden, he puts mankind in the garden and gives them all these callings and purpose. Take dominion over the earth, cultivate the garden, be fruitful, multiply, manage all the animals. And it's beautiful. But then he says, Adam, it's not good for you to be alone. Almost as if God said, oops, I forgot. I should have had God. No, I think God's a God of order and sequence. And he was first putting Adam alone to have all this responsibility and vision so that Adam would be aware and say, you know what? I can't do all this, God. And we always look to God for provision, and God gives him the answer. I'll give you a helper. He gives him Eve. Sometimes we think of this sequence as Adam is more important than Eve, or Adam is the leader and Eve is the helper, and men should be leaders and women shouldn't. I don't think that's biblical at all as you study the whole counsel of the Bible and you understand God. Adam is the first of mankind, but he's male. Eve is mankind, but she's female. And when we call Eve the helper or helpmate, the word help in the Bible is not a word of weakness. It's a word of power and strength. For God himself calls himself the helper. The Holy Spirit is the comforter and helper. Jesus said, one greater than me is coming, the helper. In Psalms, it says God is a very present help in times of trouble. He's the strong tower. I will lift up my eyes to the hills with which cometh my help, the Lord, the maker of heaven and earth. So helper Eve is not weaker. It is actually strong help. Adam realizes I have this calling and purpose and responsibility, and I need a strong partner to help me. So that's the second piece, is when we think about helper, it's not less than leader. It's actually perfectly fit and equally yoked, that's a biblical term, to the leader. So now that we understand how powerful and how beautiful helper is, I want to ask you, are you a leader or a helper? Now let's talk practically about this. Leaders carry a certainty that they know which way to go. I think that I'm much more of a leader than a helper in this, because I don't always know if it's the right way. I just know I'm very certain about it. People who've been on my team with me, or staff or volunteers, later on they become a leader, and they're like, how did you know to do that? I said, I didn't know if it was the right thing. I just said the team needs a confident certainty by the leader. This is what the plan is. This is how we're going to get there. This is what we're all going to do. Let's go. So the leader is best suited when they have a clear sense of vision for the future. That's the other attribute. If you know your leader, if you're future-minded. Helpers are present-minded. Okay, it doesn't mean that being present-minded doesn't mean they're not thinking ahead. It just, they tend to live in the now. Leaders live in the next. Okay, leaders are always looking to where they want to take people, where they want to be, which means leaders are not great helpers. I am not a great helper. I have offered my help to my friends. My wife is like, no thanks. You don't have, it's almost as if they're saying you don't have the gift of help. Now, I always want to help and carry and lift and sweat with people, but I've found that I am a better leader because I'm very particular. I'm very driven. I have a certainty of where I want to go, and I'm able to inspire people. That's the other thing a leader does. A leader inspires people and builds influence with people so that they follow. Now let's talk about helpers, because I am surrounded by helpers. My wife's a helper. My father-in-law is a helper. A lot of my team are helpers. Helpers are incredible. Helpers are highly skilled. They are a craftsman or a craftswoman. I'm working with a lady right now who is an incredible helper. I'm amazed by her wisdom, discernment, skill set, the way she's wired. And what I've learned is, because I'm a more natural leader, maybe you could call me a galvanizer, and I've had many men and women like this, but now it's this lady. When I'm able to bring a problem or an opportunity or an insight, she needs time to process it. She comes back and she has this whole thing developed with options and levers, and it's just amazing. And it's like, wow. I mean, I try to do that. A couple of times she's been, because we've become friends, she'll look at my work I do on a strategy or process, and she'll look and say, would you mind if I did this? I said, yes. It's almost like she doesn't want to offend me, because she wants to help, not just me, but her gifts help our organization. So helpers, it's not that helpers can't see ahead or have a vision. They have as much passion as a leader does. In fact, to help means you have to buy in to the same vision, opportunity, the objective, the mountain to climb as the leader does. But the helper does their best work when they are told where to go and why. Once they get the direction and the why, they buy in and they start to do what they do so well. I have seen helpers struggle because they're put in leader positions. And they're trying to do the work of a leader, and they're operating like a leader, but they're frustrated and they just want to go back to their workshop and help. So you can see if you're a leader or helper. If I were to find you, it's 11:42 a.m. right now. If I were to find you, are you leading right now or are you helping? Are you in your office? Or are you on the computer? Or are you in your shop doing? Or are you leading? Sometimes I get in trouble because I should be in the workshop doing and getting the work done, and I'm too busy with people influencing and inspiring and coaching, which is why I do this video. And sometimes you might think my wife, she's a helper and a worker. She's like, all you do is go to coffee with people and talk to people. Yes, and people find their calling and ministry moves forward. So I've had to help helpers realize my work is best used in the lane of leadership, helping people find a way and showing them which way to go. And it unlocks their helping, their skill set, their abilities. And helpers are happier because they want to be part of the team. Okay, so I've given you a little bit of leader and helper. My question remains, which one are you? And if you put that in the comments, are you a leader or are you a helper? Because when you find that you're really not a leader, but you're a helper, then you need to go find leaders and say, I want to help you. Like this lady. She's been a leader. She is a leader, but she's a great helper, and the team flourishes when she helps. And I have tried to be the helper. In fact, in my role, I've tried to be helpful, but I just screw stuff up. I've tried to be helpful to my team. They're like, I've talked to some pastors and said, how can I help? They're like, Matt, just go love on people. Just go help the dream team. Just encourage me. So people want the leader just to lead. And when you understand where you best fit on those two roles of leader, helper, you're going to feel so much more confident, not lost, not confused. And no one else around you is going to be confused. I'm a leader. I do leader work. Or I'm a helper. I do helper work. And when you identify which one you are, your calling, your gifts are going to be so powerful. And you with the partner, two are better than one. You're going to get a good return on investment for your labor. It's not going to feel like labor. It's going to feel like fun when you have two people running together. I hope this helps you. Share this with someone who it might help. And tell me, which one are you, a leader or a helper?